So, on to car news.
Cars and coconuts. So we have our Malaysia Autoshow 2025 at MAPS.
Yeah, so let's start with the sad stuff. The conventional car.
The Germans are
actually the whole auto show started off with the Germans. The first people to show off when they did the press tour, right, was BMW first, and then Mini, and then after that Audi. And when I saw what they were showing, I'm like, is that it? I mean, there were a couple of Mini electric JCWs.
I said in it, the build, the use of material was horrendous.
Well, the Minis are made in China now.
I know, but the use of materials are horrendous, right? It's so rough. It feels,
and it's right where your elbow.
You feel the roughness in your seat and in your elbow, right?
It's like,
but the prices are decent. 210.
Yeah, 200. I think the JCW one was like 230, 240.
Is it?
It's like already a performance car.
Yeah.
So
it's decent lah. I mean, in terms of pricing, I didn't bash it in that. It's just that, I mean, the build quality is okay. It's not great. It's like smart level, or maybe smart minus a bit. But the use of material,
I have a neighbor who bought the Mini, the basic Cooper E.
Okay.
He complains about the build quality a lot.
Is it?
Yeah. He said everything is squeaking, and then he sent it.
But isn't Mini always like that? Is this his first Mini?
I think so. He has a GLC actually, so maybe he expected something.
Maybe that's why. That's because Mini has always been like that.
Yeah, Mini is. The more it ages, the more
everything will warp, man. If it doesn't snap out of place, you're considered lucky.
I mean, the Germans probably look at the Mini coming out of China and say, hey, this is an improvement in build quality.
I mean, I noticed it feels a bit more solidly put together, but the material,
they're trying to go for that living room feel, but it doesn't really.
Maybe try softer material.
I really like that circular OLED.
It's
the first time I'm seeing circular OLED in any car. Even though it's been like at least more than a year, I still haven't.
Mini has had it for a long time, no?
They've had a circle, but inside
it's not circular.
The display is
a fake one. Okay.
They will put like a little bezel to make it look circular, but it's not circular. Circular displays are quite rare. You see this one on this watch?
Yeah.
Even Apple doesn't know how to do this, or cannot afford to do this.
Is it?
Yeah, making a circular OLED display is expensive.
Oh, is it?
Because you have to also have like a little area for your drivers and all that. It's a bit difficult to do. Yeah. So Huawei has managed to do it.
I'm learning new things.
Yeah. Circle screens are difficult.
I was just thinking circle screen, but you have a big square screen, then you have your bezel.
I think there's also like a opportunity cost thing, because let's say you have the screen like that.
Wasting.
You come out with a little wafer full of screens. You got to punch out circles. Then all the middle one just throw away. Whereas if you have a rectangle, you take the rectangle and you just cut it up.
Yeah.
That's the theory. I don't know how the manufacturing process is. But so that Mini had some good things, and the pricing is very aggressive.
It starts at what, 210?
The basic one is like just under 200. If I'm
not
mistaken.
Nice. It's actually
200.
decent. And the range is no longer 200 kilo.
It's not.
It's proper.
It's usable.
Yeah. That is the biggest. It's not a 190 kilo.
That one tak boleh lah. 200 kilo. So I mean, the Mini launches were okay, but BMW launched like an update to the 330Li.
I remember that.
And you know what was the update? 360-degree camera. I was like, what? You were selling a how much $350,000 car without a 360-degree camera for how long?
Actually, there was a reason why they were doing that in the past. There was a reason.
What?
Oh, thanks. Dasani.
Not sponsored.
BMW, I think, in a way, try to reduce your driver distraction.
This is the biggest cope I've ever heard from a former BMW driver.
No, but in the past. In the past.
Okay.
It's like they felt that giving you a camera is not as good as giving you a proximity display.
I don't buy it, because we were saying that they tried to minimize your distraction. BMW was the first manufacturer to put heads-up display in front of your face. They said that was enough.
So it's a cope lah.
It's a cope. BMW, whenever they can skim, they will skim.
But like Tesla, they give you a simulated reverse view when they can give you a camera, but they don't show you the big camera. They give you a simulated reverse.
I wonder why.
Because it reduces complexity. I don't need to know if it's a piece of paper or a booklet or what. As long as it looks like that, I'm not going to hit it.
I'd rather have the visual.
I realize that when you have the visual, my reaction is slower. Then because I have to interpret what the hell am I looking at.
Right.
Where else if it's a giant block of red color, don't go near it. Well, whatever it is, don't go near it. That's my interpretation. Because Tesla has the camera. It's not like they're skimping.
And they love their cameras.
And they're not skimping on it. But they reduces the resolution into a radar when you're reversing. So that's a conscious decision. So I asked myself why, and I realized because I back-to-back seal to I realized that in a seal I have to. What the heck is that? What am I looking at?
Because you got the wide-angle distortion.
Then you have. You may not look like. So I was looking at a. It looks like a tree stump, but it could be a cement block or what. But in a Tesla, I wouldn't have to ask that question because I wouldn't know what it is. It would just look like red color. Don't go near.
You trust the machine too much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you got a point there.
So I try to put back into BMW, but what you say about BMW, it's also possible.
Yeah, because now they got the 360-degree camera. That means they know they. The BMWs, the Minis, whatever, and then Audi showed the Q7.
Right.
There was a few like power outages during the auto show.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean this is not the Audi or BMW problem. This is a Malaysia Auto Show problem. In the morning, 3 or 4 times power outage.
Oh, that's serious.
During the presentation, Audi was doing 3 times when the power went out.
Oh, that's bad.
I hope they got their money back. That's terrible. But yeah, the Q7 was there. Second or third facelift at this point of the car. I think second facelift. But it's their first CKD model.
They're trying.
They're trying. They're doing it in Pekan, which is weird because the Cayenne is in the other side of Malaysia, which is in West Coast. Pekan, I think, is East Coast. Or
I'm not sure.
Different state lah. Not the same area. Yeah, so...
You know, I feel sad because they're trying. If they're not trying, I'll bash them.
Yeah.
But they're trying. And then when you try and you know you're going to die anyways, I watch one of those war movies.
Yeah. You banzai and then
you're gonna die no matter what.
Why do we have to waste life like this? Why do we waste resources on local assembly like this? I mean, what is the point of doing a Q7, an old product, in an age where it's no longer that relevant?
Is there a lot of older rich men with very conservative tastes that you want that when you open your door and you close, you go wah? Is that?
I don't know, man. Maybe your thinking is this: Volvo XC90 is their best product lah. Let's say, maybe the most margins, not the highest numbers, but when you combine the margins and the numbers, maybe it's the most profitable product overall. Okay,
so I'd rather sell one of this than sell 10 of that.
Yeah, and if you're Audi, you're not going to sell 10 of anything.
Yeah,
you're going to sell one in every 1,000 Mercedes.
I see that. I see that thinking. Line of thinking.
Maybe that's why.
And I was very impressed with the build quality.
The build quality is there for sure. Pricing, if this was 2016 and they came out with that pricing, it's 450 plus.
But the world has moved on.
The world has moved on, man.
The build quality, see, that build quality also has moved on. That's the sad part, you know. Now we expect Chinese level of build quality to be okay if you find it in Germans. Yeah. But Germans were much better than that back then, especially Audi. Whoa, the door, I was in one time, I was opening and closing, I was doing it like I was autistic. That felt like 2 decades ago. Those days.
All the salespeople looking at you, wondering what is going on in his mind. Yeah. So Q7, I wish them luck. But it's like you said lah. You don't want to bash them because they're trying. It's just that I don't know, man.
It's like a bunch of people who are doing their arts and craft very well, but they didn't get the memo that the world has moved on. But they continue doing that. And you feel that melancholy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then you realize they're a multi-billion-dollar company. At the end of the day, he's not going back to his hut.
Yeah,
if he's going back to his hut, never mind.
He's going back to his lakeside villa in Germany.
Yes, correct. You. I'm not bash you. You deaf, dumb, and stupid. Yeah. Anyway,
then we move on to Zeekr.
Yeah.
Zeekr showed the what's it called, the X7X. I don't know. They did a whole like presentation on the design, and then when the car was unveiled, I was like,
a bit underwhelming.
I mean, the front lah.
I agree because you know why? As I was getting used to the Zeekr Link & Co look, because you know I was always very critical about the Link & Co frog like. Then finally it started looking good, right? Then they move away from that.
Yeah. I mean, there's still that wagon. What's it called? it looks like the 7X. I think 7GT. 7GT. I mean, yeah, it's the same face as the 7X, but I think it looks so much better. This one, I don't know.
It's a bit underwhelming.
A bit, yeah.
But have you sat in it?
I took a picture of it, but I didn't go inside.
You need to. You see inside there, there is that ethereal feel you get when you're getting behind a Porsche, or when you're getting behind something like this. Right. You know, it's not just like getting like that. No, it's the steering is set properly. The display is set very nicely. Yeah.
From the Zeekr we drove, the Zeekr X, the drive can be a little bit comfort oriented.
It is, but it's decent because chassis wise, it's blue blooded.
Yeah, as long as it drives as well as the Xpeng G6, or a bit better than that even. I think it'll be okay lah. I think we got a few comments on DSF when we posted that launch. A lot of people are still wondering who the dealer partners are
for Zeekr. Which is ProNet.
No. That's a weird thing because Zeekr didn't come in with Proton.
They came in with Lotus.
They came in with Lotus at first as the AP partner.
Okay.
And then slowly Geely, the local office, were like, let's establish a Zeekr Malaysia, which is directly answerable to Geely.
Okay.
And then they realized, we still have to roll out showrooms. So they invited Sunway to come in with their capital.
Yeah, the Sunway one.
So there's Sunway involvement. There's Sentinel Automotive, which is the AP company that
very
also
complex.
does. Very complex. I mean, the rollout, I see it happen. I see a couple of malls with Zeekr showrooms already.
But I think the Zeekr X didn't do so well. Pricing not so good.
I mean, 150. I think it's pretty aggressive,
but it's small.
Yeah,
I mean,
and everybody's pricing around there already.
Yeah, it's small. So at that size, you should be 130 plus.
Yeah, and Zeekr's philosophy is still like, we are premium.
Yeah, they are. It feels premium, doesn't it? Inside,
but can you say that some of the competitors don't feel premium? Like BYD Atto 3, can you say? I mean, it doesn't feel premium, but
Atto 3 doesn't feel premium.
But does it feel that far off
from Zeekr X?
Yeah, especially if you're paying 30k less.
Okay, if you're paying 30k less, then it's definitely. But if you're paying the same price, then Zeekr X wins hands down.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? There is a touch of European quality to Zeekr. You feel that Volvo. In fact, higher grade. I was sitting in a Volvo. Some parts are okay, but walao, some of the build quality, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Put 3 more screws, please.
Yeah, what happened to
I can pull it off.
But I mean, Volvo likes to have dashboards that fall off.
Like, what the hell, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so like that. Hey, this is smart.
Yeah, the floating thing. It's the same designer.
Yeah.
Well, Gordon Wagner.
Oh, this is smart.
This curve is very smart.
Yeah, smart. And then that floating thing that doubles as a door handle.
So moving on, Zeekr also updated the 009. I think it's slightly cheaper. I think they're feeling the pinch from Denza and from Xpeng. I seen the Xpeng on the road, man. That thing is freaking fantastic.
I know, I saw it, but the one I saw was very dirty. And I was like, fuck is wrong? It's a brand new car. How did you get it this dirty? I haven't seen that car.
Yeah, I saw it once on the road. Was like, geez, that's like no other MPV I've ever seen.
Forget Alphard. But I sat into the Alphard in the booth. It's decent lah. I mean, crown level construction is okay, but Camry is not built to that level. Very far, like 2 steps down. Like what the hell?
Camry needs to evaluate itself,
its existence.
Zeekr also introduced, I think, one more color for the 009 lah. So I think the 009, they're feeling a little bit of
definitely because it's overpriced.
It's too expensive. And I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to fight the Alphard. They're trying to fight that crowd.
They're trying to give you more, a huge battery pack, air suspension, and everything. So it's an expensive vehicle.
And I got driven to Penang in that.
It's nice.
In the rear seat.
Whoa. Damn good, right?
The front seat, we just pushed it in front. I lay down, man, like a freaking business class lounge. And I literally slept so deep. To the point where I only woke up because we reached KL after that.
And you wanted it to continue.
No, KL traffic, the braking, that's when you wake up, you know. But on the road, we were flying 150, 160.
That's good.
You can sleep, man.
That's a problem. The Chinese needs a bit of time to be able to command this pricing. You know,
you cannot start off there.
Zeekr, I know. I mean, you're Geely. You know,
you got to pay Scandinavian salaries for your design work.
But it takes time, these things. You know, it is not something that can happen overnight, no matter how good you are.
But you know what? We also spoke to them and they were like, oh, we're talking about CKD with Tanjung Malim, which is Proton.
Oh.
You know, they got the whole
Zeekr.
Yeah.
So they're going to assemble Zeekr here. That means when the
with
tax
Proton.
break. Oh, that's great. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. That means we have BYD lor. That means we have Zeekr lor.
Yeah. We have at least two.
I do not know whether XPeng will. But XPeng is doing very well in China.
Yeah.
Consistently number 3. Hey, number 3 in China is freaking crazy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. There's hundreds of thousands of cars a month.
Leap Motor is number 1.
Oh.
I was like, huh? I look at the Malaysian sales figure like, you are number 1 in China?
Yeah.
Insane.
I mean, Leap Motor, I think there's a reason why they do so well. It's because they give that honest. I give you this much, I ask this much in price. I'm not giving you great dynamics. I'm not pretentious like that. I'm just giving you big space, good workability, good price.
Yeah.
And I think the Chinese, they like that.
But there was one scholarly article about how Leap Motor, XPeng, and Li Auto
will not survive
unless they merge.
Yeah. They say that they won't survive the next 3 years. Right now, I read
because they have to have a critical sales.
It says this: there is no way all 3 of them survive the next 3 years individually, independently.
Yes. That was the wording of the.
I read that. I'm not educated enough in terms of the market to know whether that's true. Yeah. But I was looking at their figures, and I'm asking myself: is this figure
bad or dangerous?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not. It's bigger than Mazda was doing.
And I don't know if the study is just looking at how a regular car company would survive. Yeah. Because a regular car company has costs that startups don't have.
Right.
These companies might have much lower costs.
Right. Correct. So I don't know. I'm not educated enough in the terms of the market. But from the looks of it, they look healthy. Their numbers are huge, bigger than Proton, bigger than Prodoa. You get what I mean? Yeah. And Prodoa are happily making money. You get what I mean? They may not be big like BYD lah, you know.
Okay, moving on from Zeekr, what else was in that booth? It was just Volkswagen, which is very sad.
Nothing I stay away from.
Yeah. Then we moved on to the next area. Smart showed off a really funny car. It was the #1 Brabus.
Yeah.
Done in collaboration with Brabus.
So it's Brabus.
It's like a Brabus special edition of the Brabus. I'm like, what is this nonsense?
Brabus to the power of 2.
Yeah, Brabus squared. It was funny. They got I think NASA's one of their offshoot is still in charge of Brabus Malaysia. So they got one of the NASA kids or step kid or step cousin or something to be there as a representative, and I was just like, what is this? You know, your sales are so you need the sales so bad that you need to get more partners. But yeah,
I went and saw their booth, but I didn't check out the #1 and 3 lah. I just checked out the 5.
Okay. The 5 was shown,
long the leg room is
huge. Same platform, but they stretched everything because the 1 and the 3 are basically same car with a slope roof.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas the 5
is a new platform. It's Zeekr's
same platform.
Is it? That means the 7X is running on the same platform.
Huh? They stretched it.
I felt that the width is not that much, but its length is.
Yeah,
amazing, man. And inside is very funky lah.
Typical smart.
Between the Smart and the 7X, one is more mature lor, one is more lifestyle. You know, I don't know how they drive lah. Naturally, it will be more comfortable lah.
I think the Smart will drive okay lah. I haven't had a bad driving experience with Smart so far. 1 and 3 are really good drivers.
Yeah, but they're not comfortable.
They're not that comfortable. So maybe they have to compromise.
They're a bit intrusive. Because I've been back and back. You know, Aeon and Smart. I felt it. You know, actually, if I'm carrying people, I prefer the Aeon than the Smart. Smart was fun lah, but then I'm asking myself, more fun than my Alpha, man. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I sit into the Aeon, I'm like, no, my Alpha is not giving me this.
So maybe with the 5 they will soften it and you will lose some of that.
We see but we need to see the 5 and the 7X side by side. What about the 7X? You can configure the lights, you know.
Yeah, to put whatever message you can draw the message.
You poor conservative low IQ nuts.
I identify as a BYD.
BYD. What other animal they would use?
So Smart didn't launch anything. They just showed the #5.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be more aggressive with the pricing. Having experience relatively meh sales with the 1 and the 3.
They have to drop the European air. You have to hustle.
Yeah.
You have to hustle like the Asians.
Yeah, it looks like the management got shaken up a little bit.
Yeah.
I see some new faces here and there, so maybe they will change things a little bit.
Right. Hopefully lah.
Yeah, you can see the vibe of the GD brands is like shaking in their boots. Whereas BYD still has that aura.
I don't know why. I don't know why BYD is so freaking strong.
Yeah.
I don't see the technical capabilities.
No.
In the
product itself is like
it's decent.
It's decent.
I mean, I keep getting this. They are the Toyota of EV lah.
Yeah.
They are the Toyota of EV. You know, they are not the brightest kids. Then I realized Toyota also not the brightest kids. Yeah, Toyota the dumb as kid. But they sell.
They sell. Yeah.
And that's the trick. You know, sometimes I realize that you have to be mediocre. Because if you are too autistic, you will end up being like, Mini of the past. You shouldn't have a radio in your car because you're supposed to listen to the engine. And then you can't sell cars and you wonder why nobody buy my car.
Yeah.
That's the feel I get from BYD.
The other problem with that is there can only be one of those. The moment there are two of those, you get Nissan. Yeah. You get Nissan, you get Samsung. Yeah. Which is like, okay, we're so big, but then the moment you're not number 1 and number 2 anymore, you will die very fast. So maybe it's okay to have BYD, the safe nonsense thing.
I want to get my hands on the Denza more expensive product because I want to see whether this company has the depth. Because just because a product doesn't have the depth doesn't mean the company doesn't.
Have you sat in the D9?
I didn't sit in it moving.
I sat in it moving. It doesn't have the sauce, man.
It doesn't have the sauce. It's just a big, comfortable MPV.
Yeah. And
like an Alphard.
You know what vibe I got from that car?
Maxus.
The West. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, not that bad lah. But the vibe I got is like, this is luxury to you. I know Zeekr has that sauce. I sit in the Zeekr, okay. I have the 009.
I don't want to compare with 009 because pricing wise is way too high. It's like 100,000 more.
It is.
Yeah. And then you have air suspension. It's like cheat code lah, bro. you get what I mean?
Yeah, but like the 009, you don't feel any compromise. In the D9, I feel like this is just dressed up, man. This could have been just a BYD. It doesn't take off like an electric car. It takes off very go-kart like, man. It has that slow build-up.
You're talking about the 009.
I mean, I don't expect breakneck performance.
I drove that car. It's actually quite fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
The 009 is like, wow, no compromise at all.
Yeah.
And I think Xpeng probably would have done a better job than Denza.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
You feel Xpeng is technically more savvy. Actually, they are. I've realized that. I don't know whether I told you. I was comparing G6 and Sea Lion.
Yeah.
And I realized that Xpeng is on top of his game when it comes to using current technology in the best configuration possible. Because Xpeng has a very weird FP NMC arrangement. NMC not for power but for range, right? But then you can't really get that range because half the time you're not 100.
You charge to 80% only.
Then I asked myself, under what circumstance would the company come to such a conclusion? Then I realized, I checked the fact sheet between Sea Lion and G6. I realized something. G6 has a smaller battery pack.
Okay.
Correct or not? But it has the same range. In fact, it's marginally faster, even though its horsepower is less than the Sea Lion.
This is the NMC version?
No.
The
LFP to the LFP.
Wow.
So I realized something. In terms of technicalities, he is using less to achieve the same. What does it tell you? It tells you he calculates the capability of current technology and find the best configuration, and there you go. This is currently the best configuration. Where else the Sea Lion is, I make battery ma. For me, it's cheaper. Add 20 cents only ma. Give you more on paper, looks better, but creates problem. What problem? Suspension problem, handling problem, weight problem. Does it give you more range? Not really.
Not optimized.
Not optimized. And I realized that. I was like, shit. Then in that moment, I realized, these people are on top of their shit.
Actually, I see a lot of comments saying that about BYD. Is that they just throw stuff at the problem. They just throw material at the problem.
Because for them, the cost is so low. That's why I said, I don't believe you if you tell me you are rich here. Because you don't show it in your behavior. You throw battery like it's free. You got me?
They were saying that the weight to range ratio of BYD is so much worse than Tesla.
Worse.
Definitely, I feel like Xpeng and Zeekr kind of have the sauce that BYD doesn't have.
That's why I want to reserve my judgment on BYD first, because you can say BYD doesn't show that depth, but I need to see it in your Z9. I need to see it in your Yangwang.
In your hero product.
In your hero products. If you have that depth and you're not showing it, that's because, oh, okay, maybe I get it lah. You know, giving more battery, making it look good is a gimmick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you that much because you manufacture battery. But you have what it takes. So I want to reserve my judgment first. As it seems, to me, BYD is a very Jane next door product. You know, it's not outstanding. You know, in any sense.
Not super desirable, but maybe.
They are desirable because I've realized it really takes you in design, in build quality.
I still don't see that. None of the Denza designs.
No, Denza. No, Denza Z9 GT for me is like, why? What is so bad? Then BYD Han. There's some subtle.
Han, okay.
There's some subtle there, right?
Yeah.
The Han. What else? Then you have your Yangwang, the latest U7. Oh,
I don't know. I feel I get that woe from Xpeng products.
Yeah.
I don't get it from BYD.
Okay, Xpeng, I don't get that woe. Xpeng is for me lah. It's like the first sip is like, what the kind of drink is it? Then you have to read it up. Then you read. Then you get in a rabbit hole. Then you sit there,
Autism engaged.
Yes, that's Xpeng for me. Yeah. I realize that a lot of things that Xpeng does, you really need to get into its rabbit hole to understand why they do things that way. Yeah. So they are a niche company, you know, that doesn't speak to the general public, because the general public doesn't have the IQ to click.
Low IQ mammals. After that, this one's very interesting.
Yeah.
Wuling.
Oh yeah, the Pingguo.
Yeah.
It's width. I think most of the issue is with the width. Width-wise, it's actually wider than Axia, the new Axia. 4 cm. It's a lot. It's this much.
Substantial.
But it's not yet Myvi. It's close to Myvi, but not yet.
Okay. Yeah. So it's in between those two?
Yeah, it's actually in between. Right smack in between an Axia and Myvi.
Build quality and design, hard to say. I think it looks a lot better than a Myvi or Axia.
It's a different look, because Brodor has this very Japanese
generic
utilitarian. Even the Brodor EV has that trendy look. It's on trend, Vogue.
Yeah.
Right. In a second. It's Vogue lah. It's Vogue.
Yeah.
But like GD, the Pingguo, it's chic. Yeah, it's lifestyle.
Yeah.
A bit lifestyle.
A bit lifestyle. Yeah. A bit good cat.
A bit good cat.
But when you go inside, you touch and feel like it doesn't. It's not up there lah, but it's still a lot better than.
But to be honest, you park it beside an Axia.
Yeah.
Or a Myvi, its build quality, I wouldn't say it's better, but it definitely looks better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. It definitely looks better.
It feels artistic.
Yeah.
Whereas Myvi is
utilitarian.
Utilitarian cut cost. You know. Whereas it's artistic, right? You see that retro American style chrome.
Yeah. I mean, the chrome is like, oh man, you don't know if it's going to start peeling off and all that.
But it looks like 50s American.
Yeah. It's a bit unnecessary in that segment, but you have to scream in order to get attention.
Yeah, because otherwise you start looking cheap, and then you fall into the trap of becoming Axia. Yeah, right.
Correct. So if you're going to do cheap, you might as well make it look interesting,
special. Yeah.
So that's what they're going for. Some things I think felt a little bit cheap, like the boot had like these plastic bins in the back.
Okay.
So something's a little bit cheap, but I think overall it was an okay package.
Yeah. It's cute, man. It's decent.
It's very cute. Yeah. As a starter EV, I think that's respectable.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
You're gonna say it's not.
I'm just gonna get to the price part, but.
Oh, here's the thing. They said it's going to be sub 100k.
Yeah, I hope it's not 99.8.
I really hope it's not. But then, I think 1 or 2 days after that announcement, I got a call from a friend who works in one of the Tanchong branches.
Okay.
I just discussed with him, hey, you think this thing is going to be... They said, yeah, we're getting a memo that it might be closer to 70 than 90.
That's what I said in my video. I said this thing sells for 50 plus in China. Now, you cannot expect that. But they're assembling here, correct? No?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hurdle that doesn't exist, ma.
Yeah.
Correct? No? Which means I expect them to sell at 70. It will fly. Don't touch 80 lah. It will fly on. Because the Myvi is already 60 plus. right or not? So if you sell at 70 plus, I'm telling you, it will fly. But of course, provide me with a 30 over kilowatt hour battery pack lah. The one that can give you 200 plus kilo. If you give me that, then it's okay.
Here's the interesting thing that I think. I mean, the product itself, you may like it or hate it. I think it's just the best you can do for a budget EV. Is like that for now. But I think there's so much more to unpack, because from what I heard, during the Mahathir era, before we got Proton, it was actually Tanchong that was in talks to create a national product, national car. That was the initial idea. It was supposed to go to Tanchong, and then Mahathir was like, why? I can just have a Mitsubishi Crow, and like there's this Taiwanese guy who helped.
Why do I need an existing Chinese partner
when I can set up my own?
And then I can frame the narrative in a certain way.
So this is it's rumors. It's very Mahathir, because you see him do this in every industry, right? So this was the thing like. Apparently it was somebody who had a contact in Mitsubishi, who was based in Taiwan, approached him and said like, we can bring Mitsubishi instead as the national car. And
it wouldn't be a surprise, because Mitsubishi Wuling
loves to license.
Wuling is actually a copy of Mitsubishi. Even its brand.
5 diamonds.
Because Mitsubishi 3 diamonds. It's called Sanling. Literally, Chinese call it Sanling, but in Japanese pronunciation, Mitsu is 3 items, right? Bishi is that square. And so Mitsubishi is 3. But when Chinese read, they don't call it Mitsubishi, they call it Sanling. So that Wuling is literally 5. So
Ling is what, diamond?
No, it's a diamond shaped thing. So actually they started out as a copy of Mitsubishi.
So my, not theory, but I think what's happening is, I think the current government, you may like them or hate them, but I think they're undoing a lot of Mahathir's things. And so one of the things they're undoing is they're kind of giving Tanchong a chance to do what they were supposed to do, which is like have a national car brand. And apparently this whole, like, it's called TQ Wuling, not just Wuling.
Thank you
Wuling. You rescued us from Nissan.
See, the partners of Tanchong has all crumbled. You know, Mitsubishi was the shit, now is Nissan was the shit, now
but Tanchong and Mitsubishi partners?
No.
Through Nissan lah. I mean, through Nissan, Mitsubishi. So I think it's interesting, because when they said it's going to be sub 100, that's already a signal, that this is going to be a national car, because it's sub 100k. And apparently, when I asked further, it's also because they ticked all the boxes. The government said, okay, for it to be a quote-unquote national product, it has to have this brand, like a certain kind of branding, you must employ a certain number of people, all these things. So they tick every box. They basically qualified it to be as close to a national product. Basically, whatever Proton is doing, they kind of matched some of those things. So, man, I hope for the best for them, but at the same time, I don't think the product is going to fly off the shelf.
If it boils down to price, you know, if it's you see, you think about it, it functions like a Myvi.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Myvi doesn't fly off the shelf. They sell some . Now, it may be able to replace a percentage of the Myvi if they sell it at 70 odd thousand. I realize it's in a very precarious place, because there's no way you can EV something at 40,000 here. You get what I mean? It's not going to happen, which means that you're not going to be able to touch Axia, right? But the moment you go 60, 70, then you're not too far away from the 90 to 100. And 90 to 100 is where Atto 3 is supposed to be. You get what I mean? And when competition stiffens up, I tell you, Atto 3 and the likes will start going for 100, 95, 100 and things like that. A little birdie from Tanchong told me, not at Wuling but at JAC, that the government actually unofficially lifted the sub 100,000. That's why the E5 was advertising 98. But that applies to older stock, doesn't it? But they're advertising it at 98. And what is there to say about taxes, because there is no tax anyway.
So price it however you want.
So it's pricing. So it's actually contrary to the government limitation on 100.
But then the reason why I don't think it'll succeed so much. It's like, okay, you see, they are, if let's say theoretically the little birdie is right, that means you can price your EV whatever you want. Right? If that's the case, the Chinese will start cutting price like.
But that's only for
locally assembled.
Okay, because right now it's in between, we are in transition zone. Yeah. So the moment the government say imported EV is subject to taxes, then price it whatever you want. Then you can't bring in a Seagull and say 60,000. You can't. There's no way you can do it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So now CKD one, then Pingo will come out 70. Then if BYD decides to do the Seagull here, the Seagull maybe 70, 80 or whatever. Yeah. But Pingo, it's a bit, for you to fly off the shelf, you really need to be 50, 60. But they can't do it. No way. I don't think it's doable.
For me, I still think it's the demand side is still not there.
It's not there.
It's not there. I think, like you said before, those people in that mindset of.
But we haven't tested the demand of sub 100k.
We haven't.
We only have tested the 100 to 180. Right now. And we see that consistently each brand, 3 brands are able to achieve 600 unit a month, which is 222.
Tesla, BYD and
Xpeng is 100 over.
100
so you 100 over plus a few, you get easily 600 units of 100 to 200,000. But the question now is this 600? If you move down one rung, is it double? Is it triple? You know what I mean? We don't know.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be very weak. Some sales but I don't think it's going to fly off the shelf.
Let's see.
Because that is where the bulk of sales are.
Yeah, I mean 50% of Malaysian cars is below 100,000.
Yeah. So it's like
so this entire half of the market of Malaysia has been denied for EV. But now we shall see. Now of course if they live in PP, then cannot.
Yeah. But the other section of the population, that's the interesting thing.
But it also boils down to petrol price. If petrol price starts going up, then it's a completely different story, because then you see a sudden shift. Whether they can, because I was in Vietnam, their houses are not suitable for EV.
But because petrol is expensive.
Because petrol is RM1 more than us per litre. So you see 6%, 3 times.
Yeah. I think we can wrap up with maybe talking about the Chery cars.
Oh, so many. Alright, so Chery, let's move on. Chery.
Yeah.
So Chery, is Chery officially there? No.
Chery was officially there. Chery Malaysia, Chery was, I think, right in front.
It's a main hall, but
yeah. It was like Chery in front of Peridua, Jetour in front of Proton. And
this
off
bugger.
to the side, I think it was iCar. Yeah. So iCar came in as iCore. With the U in the center.
I think I know why Cannot register.
Yeah. Because of car.
There is also Jetour.
Yeah, Jetour is separate.
Yeah,
because Jetour is coming in completely different. They're coming in with Berjaya. So Vincent.
Or they try out a different route now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So their production is going to be in Johor, represent, and they are coming in with Tan Sri or Dato'
Bangsa Johor.
Yeah, Bangsa Johor. Vincent Tan's people are going to do the assembly and all that, and also the distribution. Berjaya. And the pricing, man, is so damn aggressive. Because when I first saw the car, I was like, okay, whatever, it's just another Chery repatch. Then I look at it, I scrutinize it a bit more. I was like, okay, it's 118, and it's a
dashing
5+2 seater. No, the VT2 or VT6. It was a stupid name, VT9. Sorry, or VF. Jetour. There was a 2 SUVs.
6-seater.
7-seater.
Huh?
5+2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You count like that lah. Okay. It doesn't look that great, but it looks a bit like Omoda C9.
It looks a bit like
at the back
a Tigo
/ Omoda.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Light brown inside. Or
it was the unit I saw was black.
Oh, then it's a different one.
It's a different one. This was the main thing they launched that day.
Okay.
So it was like 118, 7-seater.
Wow.
With the Omoda 5 engine.
Wow, gila weh.
Yeah. So I was like, in my brain I was like, okay, wait.
Now I know why Omoda. What was it? Dashing was so cheap because there's one up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this, I don't think we've ever had a turbocharged 7-seater.
1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is priced at this price. Like what's the closest? 7-seater you have to pay.
BYD.
M6. Yeah. Okay. M6 aside.
Yeah.
Let's look at the other options, the petrol options.
Yeah.
Proton X90. Of course, maybe half a size bigger.
But expensive.
Like what, 140? 150?
Is it 140?
Yeah, it's a bit more, definitely more than this.
Yeah.
And it has a hybrid.
Yeah. That turns a lot of people off.
And it's a 3-cylinder. This one is a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it may not be.
Fuel consumption might be a bit.
Might be a bit high. Might be a little bit underpowered.
Yeah.
But dude,
110.
And I thought, okay.
118, 120.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be maybe a little bit cheap feeling. I go inside, it's like, hey, this is like almost Tiggo 7 Pro, presentable.
Okay.
Pretty good. Touch and feel is okay.
Okay.
Some parts you can see they kind of cheaped out versus Chery.
Okay.
But there's nothing there that substantially screams that this is a cut cost car. They got everything in there that was necessary to make it feel like a $150,000 car. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, not bad, man. They are purely going for pricing. Because what the hell is Jetour?
Yeah.
Why would I buy a Jetour?
Yeah.
Pricing, man.
It's very aggressive, I see. And then Jetour, at the Jetour side, was it Jetour? Yeah, Jetour. I also see a 6-seater.
I saw that.
Omoda, it's called. No, it's not at Jetour side. It's at Omoda.
Omoda side.
Omoda
C7. Yeah. That one, the preview one.
Yeah.
Looks like a Lexus RX on the outside.
Yeah.
The Jetour side, they combined the brands.
Jetour and Omoda.
So now it's one brand.
Yeah.
They previewed, but they didn't launch it, the C7.
Yeah.
Knowing them, the price would be quite
J7.
expensive.
J8.
J8 was a few months ago they launched it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a six-seater. Yeah. But the Jetour Omoda group is a little bit messy now.
Okay.
Because they're still integrating some of the cars.
Okay.
And like you got a bit of overlap lah. Like the J8 is bigger than the C9, something like that.
Is it bigger than the C9?
Yeah,
it seats more than the C9.
It seats more than the C9, yeah. So it's like you have to like kind of like try to understand what the arrangement is.
J stands for normal, C stands for coupe. Oh, cool looking.
C is the Omodas, J is the Jetours.
Oh, technically
like that lah. Yeah, so I don't know. It's still a little bit difficult to understand the Jetour Omoda stuff, but yeah, they're
Japanese had this problem in the 70s also.
Oh yeah.
They have brands like especially Datsun and Nissan.
Yeah. That's why I still don't understand Nissan's entire structure of products. Yeah.
But eventually they streamline it lah.
Then they brought in this head of their research department, Dr. Lu. This older guy lah, came in and then he did a presentation on they got a hybrid unit now for their Chery vehicles. Oh, Chery also, they showed this Chery Tiggo Cross, which used to be called the Tiggo 4.
Okay.
Then for export market, I think they call it the Tiggo Cross.
Okay.
Supposed to be their first sub 100k car.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's got a 1.5 turbo as the base engine and then a hybrid of that as the higher tier. So I'm thinking like, is there any hybrid of that size?
I don't
supposed to
remember.
Be
like
Ativa hybrid, I guess.
Ativa size one.
Could never be sold.
Okay.
And what else? I guess if you think about it, HRV has the hybrid, but that's 140 and it's a little bit bigger.
Right.
So could be interesting. But I don't know if Malaysian acceptance of hybrid is there.
Hybrid, yeah, especially for the lower income one, they might not be so because fuel is not an issue.
Yeah.
It's
yet lah.
Yeah.
Maybe when the fuel prices go up, instead of jumping to electric, a lot of them will jump to this hybrid. Because they are saying one full tank without charging the car, 1000 km.
Decent.
Yeah. And the tank is not that big. It's like your regular Myvi size tank, but it gives you 1000 km.
Right.
Wow, it's like double of yours, right?
Right.
So whatever price increase that you're going to pay, it's kind of offset by that. But of course, you got to pay for a car, lah.
Yeah. And the depreciation will be serious.
Yeah.
But I think if hybrid and electric both depreciate, normal car will depreciate also lah in the future.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing because your fuel consumption is so much higher.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy came in to explain their whole hybrid system, and it's quite interesting. But at the same time, I don't know. Chinese hybrid, they're actually better than Japanese in a lot of ways.
BYD hybrid is good apparently.
Yeah. What's it called? They got a lot of names, but they haven't introduced any.
No, not here. There's no reason to introduce because cost becomes very high. These cars are expensive, hybrids. And then you have iCar, right? iCar, they preview two cars.
Yes.
You have O3 and then you have the...
Oh, the name was then funny.
Basically, it's the same chassis. But
it looks a little bit different. Yeah.
The front is more funky.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas the O3 is more discovery. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. I think one is a electric, the other one is a plug-in hybrid or something.
Oh, is it?
If I'm not mistaken. The slightly different powertrain.
Oh, wow. I thought it's the same.
Oh, both electric. Wow, if both electric, then
it's the Kunlun one, which is the Jetour. Jetour T2. That's the...
Yes.
I get very confused because they look so similar. Yeah. But then I went and checked, platform is not the same. Because one is a hybrid / ICE.
Yes.
The other one is pure EV.
So the T2 is hybrid?
Hybrid or ICE, but I think coming here is ICE. Yeah.
So I think the iCar one, so one is EV, and then the one that is T2 base must be an
There's
hybrid?
a one that's T2 base, man. I thought both are same. Based on the same. One is smaller but wheelbase longer. Wow, I get so confused. I think one is proper more off-road. The other one is less off-road. The O3 is less off-road.
The other one is leather frame, no, right?
No, none of them are leather.
Oh, I don't know, man. When I look at that, I'm just like, I'm still at the stage where I don't think it'll work. But then Jetour makes it work.
You know, if you ask me which one won't work, it's Jetour J7. But it works.
It works.
It's the only one that works so well.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what the market acceptance is. I mean, like in my mind, I'm like, who would want to drive an iCar?
I mean, technically speaking, for Chinese fella, we see that name, we know you cannot register iCar. That's why you do that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It's Chery.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, it's like they're making things that shouldn't work.
Yeah, work. But I ask myself, would I buy a 150,000 ringgit car that looks halfway between a Wrangler and a Discovery? And I tell myself, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's built pretty nice.
Yeah, it's decent.
And I'm not gonna go off-road anyway.
Yeah. I don't know, to me it's all value and kind of design aspiration for that brand. Whether it'll drive well or what.
We don't know. We haven't driven. Is there any Chery that drives really well?
Really well,
no.
They are all basically like, okay lah, it's passable for days.
Some Geelys are nice.
Yeah, some Geelys
are pretty nice.
Yeah.
But Chery not so much. BYD, some of them are decent lah.
Yeah, Chery has this sort of willpower that is unstoppable. So yeah, I'm going to sell lah. What are you going to do? It's a bit scary.
It's a cockroach. Cockroach mentality. I don't care, I'm going to do it. GWM is like the elephant that cannot respond to the cockroach.
Step it, open it, the cockroach is
there. I get that Tank 300 just sitting there as a They are coming, not one, not two, not three, more than that. Because you're going to have T2, you're going to have O3.
Yeah.
All of them are coming for GWM, isn't it?
GWM is just like, I will not move from my position. But you can start to see some of their things kind of failing.
Yeah.
The Aura brand is kind of
it's not working.
being wiped out already.
Tank, I start seeing a little bit more. But I have a feeling, Tank is how much? 250.
The latest one?
Yeah.
The
300.
Oh, it's 300.
250. Tank 300.
Oh, Tank 300 is 250, yeah.
I'm telling you, the Jetour T2 is going to be 230,000.
I think GWM's approach is, we are here for the long run.
Yeah. If you don't sell any car, you're not going to be here anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They don't want to overstep lah.
Yeah.
Just run so fast and then fall over your axle, that kind of thing.
Then you have the slum dog.
Who is like,
No, you know what Chery is? Chery is Luffy.
Luffy? I don't even know.
One Piece.
I didn't watch it.
He's Luffy. Yeah. Everything is possible. Everything, just do it. Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah. So this, I think we can conclude that. Otherwise we'll be here for another hour.
Okay, so Malaysia Autoshow, very interesting time. Still very uncertain. In fact, more uncertain than ever before, because we are approaching the end of the tax holiday. But we are starting to see them CKDing, which means we're getting real price wars. Getting more serious. And I love price war. I went to Vietnam, and my favorite thing is hassle. We hassle for things that we don't need. Hustle, sorry.
Hassle is
trouble. And the trick is, you press the price so low that that they don't want to sell, then you walk away, then they call you back. You know already. You got
that's how I got my Perdana actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I put it up for sale.
Huh?
My Perdana.
How much?
11.
11.
Yeah, no one will buy lah. Just put it up and see.
Hey, you can say original lah.
Yeah, I describe everything. Original, resprayed,
Yeah,
overhaul.
Yeah.
It's just like a buy and drive thing. You see lah. Yeah, but yeah, you're right, man. It's that thrill of like.
It's getting exciting. And Proton, Pro Dua. Hey, we didn't talk about Pro Dua.
We have
What
to
we have to talk about Pro Dua.
yeah.
Okay, I'm telling